A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. My respected brothers and sisters, today I'm going to share with you one hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which according to Shaikh al-Bani, it's a authentic hadith, in which Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that destruction of my ummah will be because of two things, book and laban. Sahaba asked Prophet ﷺ, what is book and laban? Prophet said, book is Quran, that people will learn Quran and they will do the interpretation of Quran in the wrong way, according to their convenience, according to their ease, according to their desires. So they will do the wrong interpretation, they will give wrong meanings to the ayahs of Quran, and that will misguide them. That will become the reason of their destruction. And the second thing is laban, that people will move away from the sources of knowledge, the centers of spiritual uplifting, their masajid, their communities, the centers, the resource centers of nurturing their iman. So they will move away from these resources for the worldly gain. Let's analyze this hadith, what Prophet ﷺ is saying, and then let's reflect on this hadith and see our situation. Are we also trying to find meanings and giving meanings to the ayahs of Quran to create ease for ourselves, to fulfill our desires, to bypass the commands and the very spirit and ruh of the ayahs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And second, are we moving away from the sources of nurturing our iman, sources of inspiration for our spiritual uplifting, to outskirts of the town and cities, to live in countryside? You know, this hadith reminds me incident happened in the time of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And really every time I reflect on this incident, it makes me worried and it makes me cry. Sahabi of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam comes to him and he requests to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to make dua for barakah in my animals, in my risk, that the business I do. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, one of the important thing we learned from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was very much involved in everybody's life. So he knew the strength and weaknesses of everybody around him. That's why Prophet recommended to this Sahabi, do not ask for more, just be satisfied what you have and contain yourself. But that Sahabi insisted. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam raised his hands and made dua for him. And of course, Prophet's dua does not get rejected. Allah accepted the dua of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this Sahabi sees barakah, more animals, business is growing. This Sahabi, he used to come and pray behind Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam 5 times a day. Now business is growing. People are not seeing him in Masjid al-Nabawi that often. The business has grown so much that this Sahabi, Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has to move to outskirts of Medina, away from Masjid al-Nabawi. And now people don't see him in Masjid al-Nabawi for regular prayers. And the time comes for collection of zakat. And Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam sends his messenger to collect zakat. And look what happened. He says to the messenger of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has come to collect zakat, do I have to give zakat on this now? He was questioning. He was reluctant. He was showing his reluctance. He was hesitant to give zakat. on whatever business he has. News reaches to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he decides not to accept any zakat from this Sahabi Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And imagine what a bad situation. Prophet is rejecting to accept his zakat, and after the departure of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, when Hazrat Abu Bakr became the Khalifa, he was trying to give zakat, and Abu Bakr radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu rejected accepting his zakat as well. Same thing happens in the time of Hazrat Umar radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu. Can you imagine how unfortunate this man was, that he was able to pray 5 times behind Prophet ﷺ, and he asked for more, and he did not knew that this more will bring not barakah, not mercy, rather wrath of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why I say to many of my brothers and sisters, many times we make dua and Allah out of His mercy, He does not accept our dua. Imagine if we go back and reflect, retrospective, if every dua we ever had asked would have been accepted, where we would have been today. This is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we ask everything because we don't know the future. We have no knowledge of ghaib. That's why every dua we make, let's have a habit of reading dua of istikhara, because we want only those duas accepted in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has khair for us. So the message from this incident and this hadith is, my brothers and my sisters, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has commanded us in Quran and the hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, let's stick to the spirit and ruh of ayahs and hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Let's stop giving our own meanings. Let's stop infiltrating our desires to give meanings to Quran and hadith. Let's stop doing interpretation according to our ease and convenience and our desires, and let's stay connected with the resources of spiritual uplifting, resources where we can get nurturing of our iman, where we can uplift our iman, where we can refresh our iman, where we can stay connected with the people who can remind us of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Nabi Pak sallallahu alayhi wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you and me from any evil thing happens to us in this dunya. We all want success to please our Rabbul Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.